We are now entering the fourth and final week of this amazing US trip. This is our last morning here at Key Largo, and later today we will be traveling to our next destination in Key West. I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of experiences Key West has for us. But before we continue our travels, we are going to meet up with my mom, Fred, and my uncle Michael for a morning run. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I'm dancing till the sun comes up. I don't care what's in my cup. Tonight I'm doing what I want, what I want. I'm sorry I'm not heading home. I feel so good on my own. We'll take a pic and video on my phone. I wanna see you drop to the beat in the club. Don't wanna see you stop, move your feet, turn it up. I wanna see you drop, down it goes, take a shot. Don't wanna see you stop, move your feet, turn it up. I wanna see you drop to the beat in the club. Don't wanna see you stop, move your feet, turn it up. I wanna see you drop, down it goes, take a shot. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
3 kilometers done in 19 minutes at an average pace of 5 minutes and 44 seconds per kilometer. Well done. We are now in the usual process of making Tetris in the back of our van, and with our great morning run in the legs, we are now ready for our 2-hour drive from Key Largo to Key West. A quick 2-hour drive, and we already arrived here at the hotel in Key West. There is still a couple of hours before we can check into our hotel room, so now we just went out in the city to explore a bit, and I must say that my first impression of the city is that it looks very exotic. After just peeking our heads in at the Ernest Hemingway house, we've now walked across the street over to this Moondog café to hopefully get some delicious lunch. The main course has arrived and my chicken salad is looking very good. With our stomachs full, we are now walking a bit to see the southernmost point of the continental USA, which is the most southern point of the entire US. We made it down here. As you can see, we made it into the hotel room, and after the exploring we did earlier today in the city, we just headed back here to the hotel where I did my weekly plyometrics program, and then we just chilled for the remaining of the afternoon. And today's evening's plan is just going to be chill as well. Right in a few moments I'm going to head over to my mom and dad's room where the entire family is gathered, and then we will just have fun for the rest of the evening. Besides that, I'm also going to bed pretty early today because I have a 32-kilometer long run tomorrow morning before we meet with the family again. Good morning. It's our first morning here in Key West, and we quickly got some breakfast in the system before we headed out here to the Key West Jetski adventures, where we are going to jump on a jet ski just in a few moments. But before that, I would like to talk about the long run that I did this morning. And as I mentioned, I was out on a 32-kilometer long run, and I did it in 2 hours and 24 minutes at an average pace of 4 minutes and 30 seconds per kilometer. So now that we've got that out of the way, we're ready to see what the adventure brings us today.
Start button, touch that right throttle, head to the channel, let it go, yep. Start button, touch that right throttle.
Jo, neutral, så holder den lidt stille. Det er i nu. Man kan bare trykke på den her, så kommer man fremad. Gear. Ja, og den drejer kun. Du skal ud af gear. Den drejer. Er du med?
Ja, ja. This is the coolest thing ever. Det er så fedt. Bare op til Alec og Michael. Helt ja. As you can see, we've returned from the jet ski tour, and I will say that this was without a doubt the most fun thing that we have done so far. It was so crazy experiencing the jet skis. Afterwards, we just returned to the hotel where the boys got a few beers in the system, and we also just chilled at the pool. And now we've left again to find a place to eat lunch. We made it down to this amazing spot called DJ's Clam Shack, and we are here to try their corn fritters, which I'm really excited about. What you're looking at right now is fried conch with their key lime pie sauce and a bit of coleslaw. This is a specialty down here, so I think it's really fun trying it. We just made it out of DJ's Clam Shack, and I thought it was really fun trying some of the local food. Especially I wanted to shout out my grandmother for putting us on to these corn fritters. And in terms of the taste of the food, I think that maybe it just tasted like a lot of other fried foods, but it's always fun to try specialties around the world. A short walk around the corner, and now we made it over here to mile 0, which is the start of the US Highway number 1. Another short walk, and now we made it over here to Harry Truman's little white house. I think that it's maybe a crime that we made it to part 4 of this vacation without any ice cream, but now the heat here in Key West got to us, so we made it to Mallory Square, where we got some really delicious looking ice cream. After the delicious ice cream at Mallory Square, we just returned to the hotel where we have been chilling for the remaining of the afternoon. And now we have left the hotel again because we are on the hunt for some dinner. And yesterday I went out for an early dinner by myself because I wanted to head to bed early so I could get up really early in the morning and do the long run that I did. And yesterday I found a spot called Sin's Burritos, which I was very satisfied with. And now that's where we are headed today. Unfortunately, we have found out that the restaurant closes earlier on Saturdays, so now we are looking for another place to find some dinner. We found a Subway right next door.
Jeg kan købe en dipper, som jeg bestilte. Hvad mere? Men altså sådan, der er blevet solgt foran politistationen før. Og politiet, de går sådan ikke noget ved det.
It was quite nice getting some dinner, and now I don't have any other plans than to head back to the hotel and chill for the rest of the evening. I will maybe do a run tomorrow morning, but that depends on how my leg feels, so I will just evaluate tomorrow morning. It's our second morning here in Key West, and after an amazing night of sleep, I have decided that the run I was talking about yesterday evening, I will reschedule to a later point this week. I will, however, still run with the family, so in a few moments I'm going to meet with Fred, Mom and my Uncle Michael for a spin around here in Key West.
Roller coaster ride, hands up in the sky, take you on a ride, love to feel the high, we can start again, laughing to the end, screaming at the top, hope it never stops, we could do it all over, thrill is bringing us closer, superstar you're like Nova, oh, so incredible one time, gotta let it go tonight, wanna know what it feels like, yeah.
5 kilometers done in 31 minutes at a pace of 5 minutes and 58 seconds per kilometer. With a nice morning run and some good breakfast in the stomach, we are now ready to take on the day. And we have just left the hotel because our first stop today is going to be the Hemingways house. What a coincidence that we visit Ernest Hemingway's house the July 21st, which is his birthday. It was a pretty chill tour at the Hemingway's house, but now we are looking for something delicious to drink before we head back to the hotel. We found a spot that could serve me a coconut. Cheers! After drinking the delicious coconut, we just returned back to the hotel where we have been chilling for the entire afternoon. This is actually the first day that I have found a time to take a nap, which felt just absolutely amazing. But now we have left the hotel again because we are going to meet with the adults at a restaurant called Blue Heaven, which is quite a famous restaurant here in Key West, and I'm really excited to try their food, especially their world famous key lime pie. Our food just arrived and I've chosen to get this yellowtail snapper, which is looking absolutely delicious. And after the most delicious dinner we have had on this vacation, the infamous key lime pie has arrived, and what a piece we've gotten. We've just left the Blue Haven and we are now on the way back to the hotel. And in my opinion, this was the best dinner that we've had on our entire vacation. The vibe, the food, and just entire experience was the best that we have gotten so far. But as I said, we are now just strolling back to the hotel where we will be hygge for the rest of the evening and just chilling. And I will probably also go to bed a little bit early today because I want to be prepared for my morning run tomorrow morning, where I will include 7 times 1 mile intervals.
Oh yeah.
It's our final morning here in Key West, and we have just eaten breakfast at the breakfast buffet and made Tetris of the back of the trunk. So now we are ready to move on to our final stop of this US vacation in Miami Beach. But before we head on to Miami Beach, I would like to talk about the morning run that I did this morning. And as I mentioned, I did 7 times 1 mile in an average pace of 3 minutes and 30 seconds per kilometer, which I'm really satisfied about. Besides that, I did 19 kilometers in total in 1 hour and 26 minutes at an average pace of 4 minutes and 21 seconds per kilometer. So a really satisfying run this morning, and now we are ready to head on to Miami Beach. We have been driving for about 1.5 hours, and now we made it to mile 80 on the US 1. And we just made it to something called Robbie's here on the island called Islamorada. And we heard a tip from our trainer on the jet skis that we could stop here and try feeding some fish that doesn't have teeth, but they are incredibly big, so apparently they grab on to your entire arm when you're feeding them. So we stopped here to see what's going on before we continue on to Miami.
hvor langt den kommer op.
Ja, det ved jeg ikke. Det finder vi ud af.
Er vi klar? Prøv at se, hvor stor den er.
Prøv lige at få dig en til, så. Du skal være god, hvis du vil til at komme
Hey,
på
Cannon!
Prøv at se, den kommer op her.
Cannon! Cannon!
Prøv at se!
Fedt nok.
Den har altså ikke tænder, men den flyver fandme til.
Put your hand.
De gider slet ikke spise Simons flæsk.
Oh, I'm waiting for them to grab it. Den der store. Øj!
Det er sjovt.
Hvad led vil du have det filmet på?
Det er jeg lige klar.
That was a really fun experience and definitely the most exciting restroom break we have had on this trip. So now that we have experienced that, we are ready to continue our drive to Miami Beach. Another 2 hours in the car and now we've made it to our final stop here in Miami Beach. We've settled in the hotel. I've done my regular strength training and the adults have got a few drinks. So now we're ready to take on Miami and find a place to eat some dinner. The last thing that I really wanted to try before heading back to Denmark is a Cuban sandwich. And I think that Miami Beach is a great place to find a good Cuban sandwich. And for this dinner we have went down to the restaurant called Bella Cuba to hopefully get a very delicious Cuban sandwich for dinner this evening. Our waiter is the coolest guy ever and we just got our appetizers, which is looking very, very delicious.
Yes, that's banana, yes.
Now the main course has arrived and I'm really looking forward to trying my Cuban sandwich. We've just left the Cuban restaurant and that was a very, very great experience. Our waiter was really fun, so that made the experience so much better. Besides that, I also thought it was really fun at trying the Cuban sandwich. And now we are just strolling around and exploring Miami Beach a little bit. After a short walk down at the beach, we have just returned here to the hotel where we will chill and end off our evening. It's our first morning here in Miami Beach and we have just gathered around with the family because we are on the hunt for some delicious breakfast. After eating our nice breakfast, we are now on the way down to Miami Beach to enjoy the sun down there. after a very hot trip to Miami Beach and also a quick stop by the rooftop pool. We have now moved out in Miami's streets again because we are on the hunt for some lunch.
Ja. Det er lækkert nok.
As you saw, we just found a little cozy sandwich shop, and now that we have gotten some lunch, we are ready to just stroll around here in Miami and maybe do a little bit of shopping.
Det er varmt.
The boys is beginning to look really good. And I also found some new pants for myself. We just found a cozy cafe where we could save ourselves a little bit from the Miami heat. And I got a very delicious looking ginger shot to kickstart the system. After the cafe visit, we just returned to the hotel where we have been chilling for the entire afternoon, and everyone in the family has gotten some drinks in the hotel room. So now we are on the way out to our final dinner of this crazy US vacation, and we have a dinner reservation at a place called Ole Ole Steakhouse. Our tapas appetizers looks really delicious. Our main course just arrived and this looks absolutely incredible. Me and Alec, we decided to share two different kinds of meats. So the one is this sirloin steak, which is looking very nice. And the other one is these lamb chomps, which is also looking very, very good. And finally, I also wanted to show Fred's incredibly delicious looking steak as well. We have now finished our final dinner together here in the US, and I think that this is a very great moment to end off this amazing adventure. It was without a doubt the best dinner that we've had so far, and I couldn't imagine a better place to end off this great vacation. So for the last thing I would like to do in this video is that I want to thank everyone in my family for this once-in-a-lifetime experience, and that I got to share them with everyone. Besides that, I also want to thank Fred for being the most amazing cameraman he could ever have been. He have really helped me elevate these videos. And lastly, I want to thank you for watching our adventure in these videos. Besides that, the only thing that I have left to do is just that I want to wish you a great rest of the day. Take care.